Hey. Mailman just came and brought us Anzo bumper step taillights for the GMC Canyon. Got time this afternoon, we're gonna do the install. Let's get her done. Hey, I'm Canyon Jack, and this is Wilma, my GMC Canyon. We'll get the package open here. See what we got. They look pretty good. Looks a lot like the original. Resistor. Looks very much like the originals. Okay, on the driver's side, remove this 10 millimeter, that 10 millimeter, and that 10 millimeter. Okay, with those three gone, take this 7 millimeter out of the top. And there's a T20 on the side. On the inside, there's another 10 millimeter up top. Last is the 7 millimeter right here up at the top. And then remove these three T20s in the upper part of the step. Okay, the last piece is unclipping this little trim piece. There's just a little trim underneath there. They seem to be a pretty good match. Everything looks like it's going to line up. But the LED has this little shoulder, and this one doesn't. This slides in like this. And this shoulder is going to hit this. So we need to just take this little piece and trim it off. Nope, never going to see it. Okay, so we're just going to snip this here. That has to go in there. That goes there. And with this trimmed out piece, this will slide in nicely. Okay, holes lined up, holes lined up, holes lined up. Looks nice. trim back again. In she goes. Okay, well, they're all snapped back in place. Snap the side trim on. And we'll start inside here with this 7mm. Lines up good. Before we tighten that down, drop a 10 in here. Put a 10 in the far side. Put a 10 in, replacing there. Another 10 goes up in here. And a 7 drops down into this clip. With the 2 clips snapped in place, the T20 goes in the bottom of the trim. And the 1, 2, 3 T20s in the top. Okay, after making sure everything was lined up and getting all the bolts in finger tight, we got everything torqued down and she looks good. We're gonna move on to the wiring. So probably could get away with stripping this back, putting the T-taps on, and leaving the taillight in the truck. But it's kind of tight in here, and it'll be hard to do a good job. I'm gonna take the taillight off, unclip it here. Those 2 screws need to come out, and there's 2 screws inside the tailgate, and the taillight will come out, and we could wire into it on the bench. Then we'll take these T15s off. And the light should slide out of place. Okay, so pull the plug through, unclip the resistor, and we got the taillight removed. Okay, to test the taillight for the wiring, I plug in a battery charger, put a little nail in the end, hold it on the black negative in the plug, and then with a penny nail on the positive, the left is signal light, the middle is the running light, and the right is backup. Okay, so the LED step-up light wire has a little connector with the 3 wires. I'm just going to take this apart. And I'm going to use T-taps. Lay that in there. It'll sever the wire. Okay, so we'll get these hooked up. I'm going to use this dielectric grease. Works really good keeping the water out of the electrical. So what I like to do is just put a little dab there. Put it in the wire. Clamp the wire. Strip the step light wire. connector on there. And a little shot of dielectric on that guy. And she goes, black to black. Reverse running light goes to green with a white stripe. Okay, and then the green running light goes to red with a blue stripe. Okay, park lights on, and the step light looks good. Red. Signal light is sequential, flashing amber and red. Tail light is working, and brake light looks good, bright red. And backup light looks good, clear. Okay, so here's how the wiring shakes out. The yellow turn signal I'm not going to use because when it is activated to the step light, it will always be orange and it will always be sequential. In the US and Canada, the brake light and the signal light are the same. So I hook the brake light up to the signal light, the reverse light up to the backup light, the running light to the running light, and the black to the ground. Then the brake light will come on when you hit the brakes, and if you have the signal light on that side, the brake light doesn't come on, it just comes on the other side. That's the way the US has their cars wired. Okay, all connections are made and they're all nice and tight. All loose wires zip tied up. I put some extra silicone on the corner here where it goes into the light, keep the water out. Got that epoxied down. I ran the wire up here. This is the running lights. This is the brake light. This is the right signal light. This is the left signal light. And this is the backup light. Ta-da!